Have you ever had one of those memories that no matter what you do, you can't just get it out of your head? It leaves a permanent mark in your brain? I have a memory that haunts me to this very day. 9 years ago when I was 6, I lived in a small house on Long Island, New York. I lived with my mom and dad, no brothers or sisters. My parents weren't home at the time. I was in my living room playing with some Legos when I noticed someone looking through the window. I went and opened it. The person had a scarf covering their face so I couldn't see it. I did notice they were wearing sunglasses and a hoodie. I asked, "Who are you?" They said, "I'm John. What's your name?" I said, "I'm Max." John then said, "I was wondering if you wanted to play with me tonight." I didn't know any better at the time, so I said, "Okay." Then he said, "Great. I'll see you tonight. And don't tell anyone about me. Keep it a secret." Then he walked away. Later that night, I woke up to someone tapping my shoulder. It was John. He still had that scarf covering his face. He told me, "Come on, wake up. It's time to play." We both sat up on my bed and talked for a while. He took off his scarf, revealing his face. His face was completely painted with what appeared to be whiteout, and had a big smile painted with red paint, as well as fake blood tears from his eyes. I asked, "What happened to your face?" He told me, "Let's just say that I like to paint. A lot." We both sat there quietly for a minute or so. Then he said, "Want to hear something I don't tell many people? Me and my parents were victims of a terrible car crash. I obviously survived, but my parents weren't so lucky. I chose to be nice and said, 'I'm sorry for your loss.' Again, we sat quiet for a minute. Then John asked, 'Where are your parents now?' I told him they were in bed, asleep. He then asked if I was thirsty, then took out a small Poland Spring water bottle and handed it to me. He told me to drink it. Again, I was sick, so I didn't know any better, so I drank it. It tasted a little funny to me. Then John said, 'Want to hear a secret? That water you just drank had anesthesia mixed in it.' He then stood up and pulled 2 sharp knives out of his pockets. He then told me, 'Sweet dreams,' as he started walking out of the room. I tried to chase after him, but I blacked out from the anesthesia. When I woke up, I was in a puddle of blood. In front of me were my parents' heads, just their heads. What made it worse was that they had big smiles carved into their mouths and their eyes gouged out. I noticed a little note on the wall. It said, 'I hope you enjoyed our little play date. Someday I might come back to kill you. If you tell anyone about me, that day might come sooner. Until then, I'll be watching you.' Signed, John Avenue."